And greetings and welcome to the QCast. This is season 5, episode 28. We're on a QCast bender here. This is the fourth QCast of the last, I don't know, 32 hours or so. And this will be a fun one because we're going down to Belton, Texas. We're going to marry Hardin-Baylor. And we've got Eli Beard with us, the 5'11 senior guard from the crew. Eli, you had to travel home today just to get on the QCast. I believe you woke up in like Lexington, Kentucky. You fly to Houston. You fly to Austin. You got to drive to Belton. I mean, how was the travel, Eli? How's it going?
It was tiring, but it was good. I'm glad everybody made it back safe, and now we got a little break, so it was worth it. So
It was interesting. Your head coach was texting me. He's like, nope. He goes, Eli will be ready to go. No problem. No problem. We were going to do this a couple hours ago. And I said, well, you just take your time. He goes, no, he's like, I'm driving. He'll make it. And then I was texting you, just said, hey, tell coach to drive safely because he could be a little bit of a wild card.
yeah,
And then you said, like, which coach? So it sounds like that whole coaching staff might be a little out there, Eli. Is that what you were saying?
yeah, they got some. We got some personalities on the coaching staff.
Folks, if you don't know this kid, let me tell you, let me pin a title on you, Eli, and you tell me, you react to it. I'm known for D3 hot takes. I don't know if you know this. It's a hashtag D3 hot takes. I believe that Eli Beard is the best shooter in Division Three. What can you live with that? I mean, what do you think
Yeah,
about that hot take?
I love that right there. That's
Let
a
me
great
let me
great
tell you
take.
why. Let me show you my work. So first of all, this kid's averaging 23 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. But when you talk about like shooters, you got to look at a volume shooter. And Eli, you're shooting 43% from three, and that's with 90 attempts.
Oh,
90, 39 of 90. You're a 90% free throw shooter. Last year you were a 451 shooter from three. You shot free throws at 92%. I look at volume shooter, 3-point percentage, free throw percentage. Um, let's talk about that, man. So are we in agreement that you're the best pure shooter in Division Three? Are we good?
I believe so. I believe so.
The
Yes,
other
sir.
evidence, I got to ask you about this crazy ass shot you took against Whitman. The reason you're on the QCast is I'm sitting there watching this game. I'm interested in the crew playing Whitman, and I'm just sitting there. And do you remember, for some reason, pulling up from like 38 feet and shooting a three that
Yeah.
didn't touch anything but the net? Do you remember that?
Yep, I do. Second half. I had came off the bench a little bit. He had took me out. I came off the bench. And I think it was like in transition. And one of my bigs sent me a screen and I just pulled it.
It wasn't like a shot clock thing. It wasn't like three, two. There was like 27 seconds on the shot clock. I mean,
Yeah.
is that, I guess that shot was in rhythm. Your feet were set. I mean, talk about that particular shot. Like, what was the deal with that?
Um, Started off, well, first, I'm just say Coach Carroll, he knows like what I can do. He sees it in practice. He knows I'll put in the work. So like all my teammates and him, they give me like the green light to shoot it. So I want to put that out there first before anybody tries to go on their team and shoot shots like that. They know like I
Right.
can hit those shots. And then that game particularly, like it was just I was hot. I was feeling it.
You were.
And so, I mean, and then they had started face guarding me.
Right.
So I just saw opportunity. I just was in attack mode the whole game and I just let it. I mean, he went under the screen.
It looked good.
So
It looked like Steph Curry. I mean, the release.
yeah.
I mean, is Steph Curry an influence at all? Because it looks like there's some Steph Curry in that jump shot.
Oh yeah, I got him. He hanging on the wall
I
right now.
thought so. I knew he
Yeah.
was back there somewhere
Yeah,
because
he's hanging on the wall.
now you do have some guys on the team that if they were to line up that shot, I think Coach Cliff would not appreciate it. I'm not going to name their names, but
Yeah.
there's a few guys that play on your team that shouldn't shoot that, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. I mean, again, I'm not going to go through the names, but unbelievable shooter, guys. This kid that's on the QCast. My Illinois Wesleyan Titans have to deal with this guy. I think it's a week from today. We've both got some games to deal with first, but our team's going to have to draw up a plan for this kid right here. I guess we're going to need Hakeem Williams on this guy, and who knows what'll happen even then. But let me ask you this, Eli. What's up with Big Sandy, Texas? How's it possible that Big Sandy for 2 years could have had you and Josiah Johnson on the same team? Because Big Sandy isn't like Fort Worth. It's it's not big, right? Like
It's not big at all. It's like I want to say 3, 4 stoplights, couple food spots, and a Dollar General.
in a
That's it.
so small school, right? Like a two A Texas
Yeah.
school. I mean, I didn't see Big Sandy play those 2 years with you and Josiah, but I gotta imagine you guys were probably pretty good, right?
Yeah, we were playing. We were a 2A school, and I'll just tell you, we were playing a 5A, 4A, 5A, 6A schedule.
Sure.
We're going to play all the big teams in East Texas.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable pairing, the two of you. And I know that after he graduated, you moved somewhere to West Texas. So that's actually where you graduated from, was a high school in
Yeah.
West Texas,
Yeah,
right?
Seminole, Texas. Yeah.
Seminole, Texas. And then you go to junior college, right? New Mexico Junior College, and then Bossier Paris Junior College. How did you
Yes, sir.
find your way? How did Coach Cliff find you and get you to Mary Hardin-Baylor? How did that work out?
Okay, well, Coach Cliff was my first offer. My junior year, I when he was at Sol Ross, we had a playoff game there, and I didn't miss. I had like, I think I had like 24 points. The only shot that I missed was a free throw that went in and out the whole game. So I was like, that was like one of my best games ever, and he had got in touch with me then. And then ever since then, like my senior year, even when I went JUCO, he was still like just recruiting me, coming to see me
Sure.
play, coming just showing love. And then Joe, obviously, me and Joe are cousins, so we're related. So I go spend time with Joe in the summer. We work out together, doing all this in the summer. So I'm obviously hearing like, hey, you need to come be a part of this. And so the only reason why I went to Bossier was because it was closer to home, closer to East Texas. Like it was an hour from East Texas, and my coach had left from New Mexico because I was gonna do another year in New Mexico and just see what happened.
Sure.
But I ended up going that route. But yeah, I just felt like I wanted to be somewhere where somebody was gonna trust in me, believe in me, and let me play how I knew I could play. So that's why I came here.
Yeah, and it's worked out great. You know, you were a great player last year, even better this year. I got to ask you last year because I got to see you play in person. You know, I travel up to my alma mater. I'm at Illinois Wesleyan, looking for a couple W's up there, and all of a sudden, Mary Hardin Baylor's beating my Titans in the Sikma tournament. Did you have a good time up at my school up there? Did you like
Oh,
playing on the Shirk Center floor?
that was a blast. I will never forget that. That whole weekend was fun. I've never been to Illinois, so that was like an experience for me. And then y'all, they just treated us so well, like great respect. Everybody, like it was a good time there.
It was a great game. You know, you guys really controlled the game. I thought we cut into it, got it really close at the end,
Yeah,
made a push, right? And but you guys were very composed. Josiah had a great second half. You hit some big shots, and so we'll get the rematch here a week from today.
yeah.
Again, we'll talk about kind of the games each team plays. So you guys are 9-3, Eli. You're coming off a trip to Lexington, Kentucky, where you lost on the home floor at Transylvania and you beat Albion. Talk about the Transylvania game. It's always tough. You go on the road, play on someone's floor, but what did you see happening in that one that you dropped the first night in Lexington?
Um, I would just say no. There's a lot of outside things that impacted the game. Like one of our starters, we lost one of our starters, so he couldn't really start that game because that was his first game coming back. So, and then we just wasn't on the same page. Like, same with Cal Lutheran. Like, the last, really, Whitman, from Whitman to Transylvania, we haven't really been on the same page because we've been having to figure out what to do without BJ Anderson. He's a big part of
Sure.
our culture and like what we want to do. And then just guys, getting guys to play hard. Like, it's hard over the break, just injuries, little naggy stuff. But I feel like the effort wasn't there. Like, we wasn't playing. We thought we were just gonna walk into somewhere and just win. Whenever that's not the case, we needed to play harder, and we just fell into. We don't like complaining and chirping at the refs, and we fell into that. And against the Transylvania game, and it was just we just end up they just end up pulling away at the end.
You end up beating Albion there the second night, and then going backwards back to your trip out to the Northwest, you beat Whitman, and then that great matchup with Cal Lutheran. I saw Cal Lutheran play at our place, Illinois Wesleyan, on opening weekend, so they're really good. They have a lot of shooters, and they're really good. That was a nice game. Like they led, but boy, did you guys make a push there at the very end. You were a stop away from
Yeah.
having the ball with a chance to take the lead or tie it. What did you see in that Cal Lutheran game, Eli?
Um, I saw that the game plan that we had, everybody didn't trust it. Everybody didn't trust it. I saw communication was. I remember there was a play where we had cut the lead within single digits, and they got an inbounds play, easy layup. It was just like a communication thing between our big and a guard, and it just wasn't there. And we needed that stop because after I came down, number 5, crazy player. He comes
Yes.
down, hits a three, and I'm looking at the clock like this is probably the best shot we're gonna get. And I come down in transition, hit a three.
Yep.
So they're up 2, and then we let them go down there and get an easy one like that. Like, we can live with one where if they make it over 2 hands and good defense, but that was just too easy of a bucket. So I feel like our attention to detail wasn't all the way there on that game
The
to
one
close
in
it out.
the easy one was the one in like the right corner, right? I think you're talking about Devin Lewis, I believe is his name, and I think the one he made was right corner to go from 2 to 5,
Yes,
and
yes.
that was basically the ball game, right? And
Yeah.
but it was two really good teams. I mean, I thought like if you guys play 10 times, I don't know, maybe you split those. It just seemed like two really even teams. Moving forward here, so you've got the 29th, which is Sunday. You play Concordia of Minnesota at 4 o'clock. And then Monday, you get my guys, Illinois Wesleyan, ranked number 9, just beat number 2,
Yeah.
WashU, and beat number 2, Platteville, when they were number 2. So, so we got to play Laterno and you got to play Concordia. And those are both very difficult games, but
Mhm.
they're not here on the podcast. So let's just talk for a second. The Illinois Wesleyan matchup on Monday, Eli, you kind of know how they play. You played them last year. They know how you guys play. What do you look for in that game Monday against the Titans?
Don't tell them I said this, but pushing the pace. They're a very big team, very, very physical, very like they're a very structured team. I've already been looking. I've already been peeking at them. Great team, but I feel like our advantage against them is going to be getting the ball in transition, pushing the pace, and then pressuring the ball on defense, disrupting the sets.
I mean, I don't have to tell them because they do have the internet up
Oh
there,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean, they're the QCast it's on the internet and they're going to check it out. So, I mean, I would think that they would know that that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think that like, don't tell your guys, but I think we're going to take our really tall guys and we're going to try to pound that thing inside, Eli. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, we know,
I mean,
We
I'm just
gotta
saying,
rebound. Coach has been preaching it. He says it all the time. If we can't rebound against these guys, Illinois Wesley's gonna come in and blow us out. He's been saying it.
yeah,
He's
we
been
got some,
saying it.
we got like our 3 man is 6'8", so like
Yeah.
we got some tall dudes. You saw Nick Roper last year, but
Nah,
no,
yeah.
it should be a blast. That should be a lot of fun. And again, you guys have Concordia the day before. We have Laterno. Those are very difficult games. Also wanted to ask you, I had kind of some sources on your plane today, and there was a report that the team was singing Jingle Bell Rock on the plane today. Did you hear that? Were you part of the group on the team singing Christmas carols on the plane today?
So it's a freshman tradition. It's
Oh
a
boy.
it's a little freshman tradition. So all freshmen don't get to go on the trips with us, but the freshmen that make it, they get to go on the trip, or more freshmen that get added to the trip. They have to when the plane is like in when you can stand up on the plane, not when it's landing or taking off. They get up and they gotta pick a song as a group,
Oh
and they
boy.
get in the aisle and they sing. They gotta sing for like at least like 15 seconds. So
Well, yeah, I had some sources that confirmed that for me that that was happening. So I had to ask about that. I got to ask you about your plans after this year. So you're a senior. What is your degree, and what at this point, what's your plan once you graduate, Eli?
my degree plan right now is business management and then a minor in exercise science. I've thought about playing overseas and also just coaching. I thought about coaching. I just want to stay around the game because I feel like that's something that I can enjoy and do with passion. But yeah,
That's great. That's awesome. And look, you got plenty of time to figure this out. I always tell
yeah,
people, I'm 53 years old. What are you, 22? Eli, you 22?
yeah. Just turned 22.
Yeah, I mean, so you got nothing but time, my friend. Don't you worry about this. You'll figure this out. Um, in terms of the season ahead, you guys are in a strange place. That conference, the ASC, is kind of broken apart into all kinds of pieces and everything. What's it like? Is that weigh in you guys a little bit where you're in this league where it doesn't seem like the future is real certain and there's not that many teams left? And I don't know, how do you approach kind of the conference part of the season with what's going on there?
Um, well, it's kind of where the coaches are more worried about it than the players.
Sure.
But as players, we're just looking at it as like we're gonna play like the Illinois Wesleyans, we're gonna play the Cal Lutherans, and we're not looking past conference by any means because Hardin Simmons is great, Laterno is great,
Right.
but we know that our goal is like we need to go into conference and we're trying to dominate conference. Like we're trying to tell everybody because last year we came up short. So we got something to prove in conference. We're trying to make the conference ours again, no matter if it's 5 teams, 8 teams. We're just trying to go and tell everybody like we call it running Texas. That's what we call it, running Texas. Every Texas team we play, it's like we're the best. We think we're the best Texas team here. So we want to get the at large bid. We want to be in the tournament come
Sure.
March, and we just want to show everybody that no matter how many players or what type of players we lost last year, that we still can be a team that can compete for a national championship.
Well, and the way you smoked St. Thomas of Texas went a long way to run in Texas, right? Like I watched that game, and you didn't just beat St. Thomas; it wasn't even close. That that
Yeah,
that that one must have been part of your plan, right? Is that's a big one to win?
yeah. That was on my birthday. I told the team, I said, we're not losing on my birthday. We can't lose on my birthday. And they helped me out that day. So
Yeah, that was a really good win because they've been great for a number of years now, and those games are there's not a bunch of those games where the best teams in Texas play each other. So
yeah.
that I watched that game because it's such a big one. Just a couple more for you, Eli. Is tell me about like what it takes to be such a great shooter. I know this does not happen on accident. That I mean that you could shoot 43% from three with 90 attempts, 90% free throw shooter. Um, Help the youngsters out there out. There's a lot of kids that have the ability to shoot really well, but doing it in a game's another thing. Like how have you perfected your craft?
I would say there's multiple ways, but I would say first is work. I'm in the gym after a bad shooting night. I'm in the gym after a good shooting night. It's like that's all I do. I hang out with my teammates. I go to class, and I'm just in the gym. Like first thing I think about when I wake up is what times am I gonna work out? What times am I gonna get shots up? So it's constant. Like it doesn't matter. Like if you have a bad game, have a good game. But also you gotta have a quick memory. Like you're gonna have bad games. Like I had at the beginning of the season, like the first 3 games, when we went to Trine and Indiana,
Right.
I think I made 3 or 4 threes the whole tournament. So like I knew like it was gonna turn around, but you got to have that confidence and that hope that like you got to keep shooting, keep doing the things that you're comfortable with. And so the next thing I would say is confidence. Like if I work on something, my dad always told me like if you work on something and you don't use it, then what's the point of you working on it? So I work on at the end of every workout, I work on deep shots. So if I don't take deep shots, then what's the point of me working on it at the end of my workout? So
Well, yeah,
I just have the confidence. I just trust in the work. So
you work on deep shots and then you take them in the game. Again,
yeah.
I've seen a whole bunch of those, including the
Yeah.
Whitman we talked about. Um, how about attitude, Eli? Like one of the things that your head coach told me today as we were talking about getting you on here, he said Eli's never had a bad day. He's never had a bad day. I didn't ask him what that meant because I knew what it meant. I feel like it means Eli's got a great attitude. He works. He comes to the gym to work every day. That's not everyone has that. Like your attitude is infectious. I'm sure people catch on to it. But how have you generated that? Have you always been that way, kind of with this just positivity?
Yeah, I wouldn't say just positivity, but I would say I've always been an outgoing person. Like I feel like as a little kid, my dad always told me like I was a leader, not a follower. So like I gotta lead. Like if my team like the reason why my team come out slow, I think of is me. Like if I don't set the tone, then nobody else is gonna do it. But the only time I get mad is when people are taking the game for granted. That's when I get mad. And I let my teammates know because I've built the relationship with them. But I do say not having a bad day. I learned it in my freshman year of college because I saw a lot of guys. I wasn't playing a lot, and I saw a lot of guys just going halfway, doing everything half. And I was like, the only way I'm gonna get on the court is if I come here every day and I have great energy. I talk. I'm very vocal. I'm outgoing, and I'm just fun to be around. I'm a great teammate, and so that's what I try to be for my team every day.
Hey, that's a good thing to be. Every team needs multiple guys like that. And then just final questions about Division 3. You came to Division 3 from the junior college route. There's great basketball in junior college. We talked about you played it in New Mexico Junior College. You transferred to Bossier Parish Junior College, which is closer to home. Now you've been a Division 3 player for this is your second season. What do you like? What do you appreciate so far about the NCAA Division 3 experience?
I would say it gives you. It's like a family. Like in JUCO, everybody was just trying to get out. They're trying to get their own. They're trying to just get to a bigger school. I feel like Hardin-Baylor is like a family. Like you walk around campus, everybody wants what's best for you. Like everybody, like the administration, they're always looking to help you, your coaches, and it's just a big family. Like you could tell, like your coaches, like Coach Carroll, Coach Hunter, they do whatever. They would do whatever for us if we even wasn't playing basketball. So I feel like the family piece and just knowing that you're valued more than just your basketball skills.
I got to ask about Coach Carroll. Like, has he turned you on to any barbecue? I assume he has because we know that he is a savant of barbecue.
Ah,
Like,
yeah.
tell me about that side of it. Like, has he steered you guys to some good barbecue down there?
Oh yeah, we always every time we go out of town, we pretty much we eat something different. So it's like places that he's been to that I've never heard of. And I'm a picky eater. I'm a very picky eater, but like sometimes he knows what he's talking about when it comes to food. And he I went to his house. I didn't go home for Thanksgiving because it was like a quick turnaround. So I just stayed here and worked out. Went to his house. He cooked for us. He cooked for us last Thanksgiving because we had a game
Sure.
right after. So yeah, God, he can cook. He can cook. He can. I've heard it from everybody else too. So I got to experience it firsthand, and I will say he can cook. He can cook for
Well,
real.
there's a photo out there. I don't know if I think he coached the whole game in a Santa outfit, didn't he? Like, there's a
Yeah,
photo.
yeah, yeah,
Did he coach the whole game in a Santa
yeah.
outfit?
Yeah, it was like a little Christmas theme,
Right.
but yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm looking forward to being down there. So obviously, I'm going to come to both games. I live in Dallas, easy drive down there.
Yeah.
I hope we got some kind of game plan for you. I'm certainly going to call everyone and say that they're going to push the pace. Eli told me on the QCast they're pushing the pace. So it should be a great game, and you guys with Concordia, we have Laterno the first night, should be fun. Eli, this has been a blast. It's been awesome. You're a fun player to watch. I do think you're I do think you're the best shooter in Division Three. That's I watch a lot of games. There's no one else when the ball leaves their hands. I think it's going in like it is with you. I think you're the best shooter, and there's a lot of good shooters.
Yeah.
But what would you close us out with here, Eli? Certainly, Crew Nation is tuning into this. Coach Carroll's tuning in. D3 random people are tuning into this. Certainly, the Illinois Wesleyan Titans are trying to glean something. They're tuning in. What would you leave everyone with, Eli, today on the QCast?
Um, I would just say, come February, we're gonna put everything together, and I feel like we're gonna be one of the best teams in the country.
I
We're
don't
gonna
doubt
show
that.
everybody.
I don't doubt that. You guys have the pieces, obviously, and you got the kid from the football team back in the mix. Is
Oh
Jerry
yeah,
Day Jr., right? He's in the mix.
yeah. We got everybody. We got every piece we need. I feel like to make a run. So all we gotta do is buy in. That's it.
Well, looking forward to watching that process play out. I'm sure I'll see you guys when you come up this way to Dallas. I'm sure you play UT Dallas,
Yeah.
right? So I'll see you there. But yeah, fantastic play, Eli. Really appreciate you making this work, and I look forward to getting a selfie with you down there in Belton. I like to get selfies with all the best players, so when something big happens, I can tweet that out. I can kind of big time people. Like, look, here I am. I know Eli, and here's proof of it. So if you will get a selfie with me at some point, I'll appreciate that.
Got you. Got you. I'll come find you when you come to the building.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, we'll talk soon. We'll see you down there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Eli.